Hello everyone and welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution video. And today I will be ranking all 105 species in Jurassic World Evolution 3 from worst to best, in my opinion of course. My ranking is almost purely based on the animal's design and skins, and in the case of Spinosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and so many other species who have variants, I will be taking both models into consideration. Babies and sexual dimorphism will also be a big part of this ranking, and while I never posted a ranking of Jurassic World Evolution 2 species, a lot of species did get moved around in my ranking because of said babies and sexual dimorphism. How often I use a species also played a big part on this ranking, as if I use it a lot it probably means it's gonna be placed much higher. I'm also a huge fan of paleo-accurate designs, so that also influenced my ranking, and with that said, I do have quite a couple controversial opinions, so watch the whole video and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. This video was a pain to make because I suck at ranking stuff and there are just so many incredible and amazing species in the game that it was difficult to rank some of them so low. I will also be showing off my favorite skins for each species, so without further ado, here's my ranking of all 105 species in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Starting off at number 105 is the Archaeornithomimus, which probably shares its spot on many other people's rankings. I mean, what can I say about this species? It's one of 4 ornithomimids, 2 of which look very similar and all look better than Archaeornithomimus itself, and I'm 99% sure it only got added because of that clear line in Jurassic World.
The Indominus Rex makes us relevant again.
The Indominus Rex.
We needed something scary and easy to pronounce. You should hear a 4-year-old try to say Archaeornithomimus.
We should hear you try to say it.
The babies are very cute though, I'll give them that. Next, I think I have quite an unpopular opinion, and it is the Struthiomimus at number 104. First of all, I want to apologize for our Lord and Savior Struthiomimus. But like the Archaeornithomimus, the Struthiomimus just doesn't offer anything that the Gallimimus and Ornithomimus don't already do but better. I do also like the babies though, and the male patterns are actually quite good too. At number 103 is the Sciaradactylus. This pterosaur just doesn't do it for me. It's featherless, which immediately gets points taken away from it, and it has a weird crest that wasn't present on the real animal. The sexual dimorphism is quite good, but I wish they made the Jurassic Evolution 2 model the male and made the female crestless like the real animal. Next up is the Syntausaurus at number 102. Now don't get me wrong, I love Hadrosaurs, but every other Hadrosaur is just better. It does have nice crest colors, but the body pattern just looks off to me. That and it being bipedal immediately pushes it down my ranking, so I rarely use it in my parks as there are almost always better alternatives. Then at number 101, I have my first movie species and first hybrid, the Indoraptor. This one's interesting because I actually do really like its design as a movie monster, but its walking animation in the Jurassic World Evolution games just looks so off to me that I almost always go for the Scorpius Rex or Spinoraptor instead. I also don't use hybrids very much, so that also lowers it in my ranking. I miss the vivid skin from Jurassic World Evolution 1, and I also miss the movie skin, which we currently can't accurately recreate in the third game. At number 100, I have another hybrid, the Stegoceratops. I actually really like this hybrid in Jurassic World Evolution 1, but its skins in the sequels just aren't as great, so I always opt for Spinoceratops instead. I also prefer the canon design based on the Pseudoceratops more than the Jurassic World Evolution one that's based on the Triceratops. Next up at number 99 is the Spinoceratops. Yes, I did just mention it, and yes, this is the third hybrid in a row, and not the last. I do like Campretaceous and Lux skins, but I just don't use hybrids that much, and when I do, it's usually a carnivore to wreak havoc on my parks. I do like its design though, and I also like the next species design, which is the Ankylodicus at number 98. Same reasons as the Spinoceratops, it looks good especially with the remodel, but I rarely use it in my parks as a herbivorous hybrid. I love the Lux skin though. At number 97 I have my first non-hybrid movie species, and this is going to be a controversial one, but it is the Dilophosaurus. I'm going to be honest, I don't mind its design in the movies, but it's just not a Dilophosaurus to me. It's tiny, has a frill, and the model just doesn't match the movie's model, except for the rebirth one, which I actually do find quite appealing. But again, I'd rather have a more realistic Dilophosaurus than a bipedal frilled lizard, so I barely ever use it in my parks other than movie recreations. Number 96 is yet another movie species, the Baryonyx. In real life, I love Baryonyx. It's probably on my top 5 favorite dinosaurs of all time. But the animal we have in the game barely resembles one. I like adding it to Jurassic Park inspired parks or Jurassic World recreations, but other than that I always use Suchomimus or the new Irritator, both of which have much better designs and better skins. I do like the fact that they use the canon juvenile Baryonyx model for the babies though. Next at number 95 I have another movie species, the Gallimimus. Just like the previous two ornithomimids, there's always a better option to add to my parks when I'm not making any movie recreations. It was also a missed opportunity to not add the canon juvenile pattern to the babies or have them be much smaller like in Jurassic World. That alone would have probably boosted its spot on my ranking since the movie babies were pretty adorable. At number 94, I have my second pterosaur, and it is a Tapejara. In Jurassic World Evolution 2, I loved it solely because it was the only Tapejara in the game. Like the Sierradactylus, I wish the sexual dimorphism gave us a female model more accurately based on the real animal, as the Tapejara we have in-game is actually based on the Tupandactylus, which has a much larger crest. The babies are very cute though. Then at number 93, I have another pterosaur, this time the Tropiognathus. I love Ananguerids, but the Tropiognathus beak is so exaggerated that it really turns me off from the species design. I loved the Merodactylus in Jurassic World Evolution 2, so I can't wait for its return to Jurassic World Evolution 3, and when it does return, you can be sure that I'll basically never use the Tropiognathus ever again. Sorry, maybe that was a little bit mean. Number 92 is the first lagoon species, the Liopleurodon. A generally disliked species by the community, with the addition of the Kronosaurus in the early Cretaceous pack, I basically never used the Liopleurodon ever again. The babies are cute, but that alone doesn't push the Liopleurodon very high on my ranking. Now I have yet another hybrid with the Scorpius Rex at number 91. I think you can kind of tell I'm not the biggest fan of hybrids. Just like the Indoraptor, I do really like its design as a movie monster. I think the designers behind Camp Cretaceous really captured the essence of a monstrous deformed animal with this species. The skins are also pretty great, but still, I rarely use hybrids, so it sits at number 91 for now. Then at number 90, I have the Troodon. I do like its design, but I very rarely use it in my parks. Its skins are also really good, and the babies are quite cute, but that's pretty much all I have to say. Good featherless design, rarely use it in my parks. At number 89 is the Proceratosaurus. We have 3 theropods with snout crests in the game. The Proceratosaurus, Guanlong, and the inevitable Monolophosaurus, and I feel like the last two just do it better than the Proceratosaurus. The skins are great and the babies are quite cute. Even though the changes to the female model were very minimal, I do prefer the Jurassic World Evolution 2 model over the one we got, so that lowered it in my ranking. Next up is the Nasutoceratops at number 88. The Nasutoceratops is another interesting species because I do really like its design in the movies, male, female, and baby. And while the baby we got in the game looks just like the movie one, the female model was turned into the male model, and the female model is just the original female model with a smaller frill and horns, with the canon male model being nowhere to be seen. This turned the Nasutoceratops from potentially being one of my favorite ceratopses in the game to my least favorite. I really don't understand what Frontier was thinking with this one because I doubt it was a universal issue. The canon male model is completely absent from the game, and I've seen people speculating that it's being saved for a Chaos Theory DLC, but I doubt that because it would just be too confusing to implement, unless they fix it in a free update, which I'll have a video on soon, so subscribe and turn on notifications to know when that video gets posted. The Sinoceratops is at number 87, and it's for similar reasons to the Nasutoceratops. I do actually like the movie model, especially its colors, but what we got in Jurassic World Evolution 3 completely ruined the species for me. While I appreciate what Frontier tried to do with the female model by giving it a smaller frill like the real animal, that completely disregards the canon. The original model was already the female, and with the males of both Nasutoceratops and Sinoceratops having new patterns, it makes it completely impossible to recreate both species' movie skin. At number 86, I have yet another ceratopsid, the Chasmosaurus. I never used this species much in the previous Jurassic World Evolution games, and it stayed the same in Jurassic World Evolution 3. The baby has a frill too big for its age, the female got a smaller frill, and the male a bigger frill. I prefer the original Jurassic World Evolution 2 model than the new male or female models. The skins are great though, I won't lie, but that's not enough to warrant a higher spot on my ranking, as other ceratopsians are just more interesting and have better skins and patterns than the Chasmosaurus. Then I have the Kentrosaurus at number 85. I don't have much to say about this species. I like the Camp Cretaceous model, but I rarely use it due to its large size, and if I want to use a small stegosaur, I much prefer the big Gigantspinosaurus and Chunkingosaurus, emphasis on beak. I do like using it in African exhibits alongside the Jurassic Park 3 Brachiosaurus though. The Stygimoloch takes the 84th spot. I struggle to rank this species and the Dracorex because I do like both and I almost use them interchangeably, but I think I prefer the Dracorex because I feel like the Stygimoloch has a bit of a comically large head, and I'm not the biggest fan of the shorter spikes on the female, though the babies are quite cute, and with that comes the Dracorex at number 83. It's a cute species and the babies are very adorable, but I usually use Pachycephalosaurus if I want a larger Pachycephalosaur in my parks. At number 82 is the Metriacanthosaurus. I used to love this species in the previous games for its skins, but in Jurassic World Evolution 3, the female kept the original pattern, but it became faded, like the Zuccomimus. The male's pattern is nice, but it's nowhere near as great as the original ones, and because of that, the species dropped quite significantly on my ranking. I will say that the babies are actually really great though. Number 81 is the Apatosaurus. I love its design in the movies, but the in-game model only borrows from the ILM model, rather than being a copy-pasted model like the majority of the other movie species. If I want a medium-sized sauropod, I usually go for Diplodocus instead. The male's patterns do help it a bit, and they do have very cute babies, but like the Gallimimus, if they use the size of the movie babies, which are the most adorable things ever, and the movie model, the species would have probably reached my top 10. Now I get to the species that were increasingly difficult to rank. The Sauropelta sits at number 80. It's a great design and I do use it quite often, but I prefer the other ankylosaurids in the game. The only truly great things about it are the babies and skins. At number 79 is the brand new Distortus Rex. As a movie monster, it has a great design, but as a park attraction, it just doesn't fit in with all the other species. Like the other hybrids, I only really use it in dedicated hybrid facilities or restricted areas of my parks. I'm honestly surprised it's this high in my ranking, especially considering it doesn't have any frontier skins. The same applies to the Mutodon at number 78. Great movie monster, bad park attraction. It's unique, which led it to be higher than the previous hybrids, but its lack of frontier skins leaves it very low in my ranking. Maybe with skins, it will reach a higher spot because I generally do like its design as a fictional creature. Number 77 is the Compsognathus, and this one hurt me to rank. This species used to be present in all my parks ever since it got added to Jurassic World Evolution 1, but halfway through the second game's life cycle, I stopped using it in every park due to the addition of another tiny carnivore that sits much higher on my ranking. Its skins are also not the best, and I miss the Tundra skin from Jurassic World Evolution 1. The babies are super adorable though. At number 76 is the Coelophyses. I do very much like this species, and the quilled males look pretty great, but if I want a small carnivore for my parks, I almost always go for other species. Its skins are very great though, and the babies are very cute. Then at number 75 is the Triceratops. It's only this high because I really like the Jurassic Park skin, and the Jurassic World female and babies are also quite good, but the male is just so bad. I have never and will never use that comical abomination in my parks other than a Rebirth inspired park. Yes, it's mean, no I don't care. The Triceratops probably has the worst sexual dimorphism in the entire game. I know it's very harsh, but I genuinely despise the male Triceratops. The Plesiosaurus sits at number 74. I really like the snake-inspired design, and I love the Svalbard skin, as it makes the Plesiosaurus look like a black mamba. But I usually go for Attenborosaurus if I want a long-necked plesiosaur, and that species also has a fully black skin, so it helps it even more. I really like the shorter snout of the babies, as it resembles other species like Xeraphosaura. Number 73 is the Corythosaurus. The new male boosted this species on my ranking by quite a bit, but I'm still not the biggest fan of bipedal hadrosaurs, and even though I love the male's crest, I do wish they added a little bit more variety in its colors. The baby is probably my favorite baby hadrosaur though. Next up is the Majungasaurus at number 72. Great design, adorable babies, but I just prefer every species above it. The female's reduced horn is also not my favorite design choice, and I can't wait to get the Chaos Theory variant in the game because I think that model does this species better justice than the Frontier one. Like the Dracorex and Stygimoloch, I struggle to rank the Majungasaurus and the Carnotaurus, which sits at number 71. They're the only Abelisaurids in the game, and while I love Abelisaurids and the movie Carnotaurus design, the in-game Carnotaurus just looks nothing like the movie one. The babies don't look great either, and the female genuinely looks terrible with the stubby horns. The only time I ever use Carnotaurus in my parks is when I use the Demon Carnotaurus skin, because it uses the actual ILM model, and I really wish the standard Carnotaurus used it too. Just like the Apatosaurus, that would skyrocket it on my ranking. The next species is the Deinonychus at number 70. The redesign was very welcome, but I would have preferred a proper accurate small dromaeosaur instead. Don't get me wrong, I love the new design, and it definitely boosted the species ranking by a lot, but like everything else, I just prefer all the other species above it. I've said this a lot and I'll keep saying it, but the babies are very cute. Number 69 is the Pyroraptor. This species went from being one of my most used species after the Dominion Bison expansion to a once-in-a-while species after the introduction of the Utahraptor in the Cretaceous Predator pack. I wish the females kept their old pattern, but the males do look pretty good with them. At number 68 is the Acrocanthosaurus. Loved it in Jurassic World Evolution 1, but I just stopped using it as much after Jurassic World Evolution 2, probably due to its amazing skins being absent in the second and third games. Then at number 67, I have the Ankylosaurus. Back in the previous games, I rarely used the species as I always opted for the Oplocephalus due to it looking a lot more like the real animal. It also doesn't help that the Ankylosaurus skins are very lackluster, although I do like that the male's pattern is based on the Jurassic Park 3 ones. The baby is adorable. The head reminds me a little of my beloved Minmi, which is actually coming back to Jurassic World Evolution 3 this month, but I wish they used the baby bumpy design from Camp Cretaceous instead. Number 66 is the Mamenchisaurus. Back when species were being added to the database every week, when the baby Mamenchisaurus was revealed, it resembled the movie design a lot more than the Frontier one, which made a lot of people, me included, speculate that a Lost World variant would get added to the game. Sadly, when the game released, no such variant was available. I prefer the movie design, but I also do really like the Frontier one a lot, and use it quite often, but the other large sauropods are just better in my opinion. The skins for the Mamenchisaurus are very good though. Number 65 is the Gigantspinosaurus. Like the previous Abelisaurids and Pachycephalosaurus, I struggle to rank it and the Chunkingosaurus as they are just so similar. The superior skins of the Chunkingosaurus ended up ranking it higher than the Gigantspinosaurus, but I do prefer the Gigantspinosaurus babies though. Speaking of Chunkingosaurus, it sits at number 64. I love having these small stegosaurids in my parks, zero complaints. I just prefer everything above it on my ranking. I know I'm getting repetitive, I'm sorry, but for some species I just really don't know what else to say. Allosaurus is number 63. Love the Allosaurus skins in Jurassic World Evolution 1, and I love the Battle of Big Rock variant, but I don't really like the patterns we got in Jurassic World Evolution 2 and 3, so when I use it, I usually just stick to the movie skin. I also don't like the fact that the baby we got wasn't the baby from the movies, which looks much better and is way cuter in my opinion. Number 62 is the Ceratosaurus. This species used to be one of my favorites back in the original game, and I love that the baby is just an edited T-Rex model like the adult was in Jurassic Park 3. I love the skins and patterns, and I use them in almost all of my parks. The males look amazing, but I do wish the females kept their horns the same size as they were in the previous games. I could honestly see this species ranking much higher the next time I update my ranking, but for now it stays at number 62. Number 61 is the Cryolophosaurus. The babies are adorable, and I use them quite often in my parks. But there are just too many other amazing species in the game that are better in my opinion. Then at number 60, I have the Giangosaurus. Loved it back when Jurassic World Evolution 2 launched, but over time I stopped using it as much. I really like its design, but I wish the patterns were a little bit better, especially for the males. And I think the baby might be the cutest thing in the game. Number 59 is the Albertosaurus. Honestly, this and the last three species I use interchangeably in my parks, so I just ranked them on how much I like their designs, and Albertosaurus is probably my favorite. Albertosaurus also used to be one of my favorite species back in the original game, but with the addition of other similarly sized carnivores, I stopped using it as much. The Tundra skin was amazing and I still miss it to this day. The current skins aren't bad, but I do still hope we get a Jurassic World Evolution 1 skin pack in the future. That would definitely boost the species a lot in my ranking. The babies are pretty adorable too. Number 58 is the Allura Titan. Just like the Albertosaurus, it used to be one of my favorite species in Jurassic World Evolution 1, but with the addition of new herbivores, I stopped using it as much. Its skins are also quite good, but the first game skins were just superior. I've started using it a lot more recently, so maybe it will climb up a couple of spots next time I update my ranking. At number 57 is the Geostenbergia. It used to be my favorite pterosaur alongside the Merodactylus in Jurassic World Evolution 2, but with the addition of new species, it climbed a little down on my ranking. The sexual dimorphism for this species was also a huge letdown for me, as it's one of the few pterosaurs that we actually have evidence of sexual dimorphism in the fossils, and Frontier completely ignored it. Instead of giving the female a tiny crest similar to the Jurassic World Pteranodon, they give it a slightly smaller male crest. If they fixed its sexual dimorphism, it would honestly be one of my favorite pterosaurs again. Number 56 is the Spinoraptor. I'm surprised the hybrid got this high on my ranking, and it's not even the last one. While they removed the larger facial pattern from Jurassic World Evolution 1, this hybrid still has a very nice design. It doesn't look as out of place as most of the other hybrids, and the concept of a pack of these tearing down a park is just so great to me, so I use this one quite often alongside the other remaining hybrid. Speaking of packs, the Atrociraptor takes the 55th spot. Just before the third game launched, I ranked every species in Jurassic World Evolution 2, and the Atrociraptor ranked much higher. But with the addition of the rebirth skins for another species, the Atrociraptor took a hit and climbed down a little on my ranking. I actually really like its design both in the movies and in the game, but the patterns are a little bit lackluster for me, so I always use the movie skins, and because it is featherless, I usually go for the other small feathered theropods instead. Now this is going to be a very controversial opinion, but the Velociraptor is the next species at number 54. It's honestly very rare that I use the species in my parks if I'm not doing any movie recreations. Before the rebirth skins were added, I ranked this species much lower, almost the same as the Dilophosaurus. But I feel like with the rebirth skins, I'll be using this species a lot more in my parks, but only time will tell. The other movie skins are also really good, but I'm just not a fan of giant naked 6-foot turkeys roaming in my parks.
More like a 6-foot turkey.
I like their designs in the movies, but it's just not my personal pick for a small carnivore. I can already hear the crowd storming the comments because number 53 is the Megalodon. Now before you click off this video, just note that the next species is also extremely controversial. Maybe that wasn't a good incentive to stay. The Megalodon was honestly a great addition to the game, and I do love it, but if I want a large marine species, I almost always go for the others. The skins are great, but I'm very basic and almost never use any patterns so that my Megalodons look like modern day great white sharks. If you thought the Megalodon was bad, then get ready for number 52, because it is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, this was my last controversial opinion. You can click off the video now. Jokes aside, I honestly never really cared much for this species. Even as a child, I always preferred Giganotosaurus or Spinosaurus over the T-Rex, so I always opt for those or the other large theropods for my parks. The lack of proper sexual dimorphism also doesn't really help it, although I do like the pattern on the males, just like the Velociraptor, which I forgot to mention. The rebirth variant helped the T-Rex climb a lot on my ranking, but other than that, I just don't use it that often. If Frontier added a third variant for the feathered skin, then this species would be much higher, but right now it's almost always absent on my parks if I'm not recreating any movie ones. I do really like how faithful the babies are to Junior though. Number 51 is the Muttaburrasaurus. Probably not the best species to put after the T-Rex, but anyway. The skins in the first game were really good, but the ones in the second and third game are also pretty good, so no complaints. I just really like using this species alongside a smaller one in mixed species exhibits, and there's not much else I can say about the Muttaburrasaurus other than that, and that their babies are quite cute. At number 50, I have the Dimorphodon. I've got mixed opinions on this pterosaur. The Dominion variant in Jurassic World Evolution 2 was basically always present on my parks. But with the semi-removal of it in Jurassic World Evolution 3, I don't use it as much. At first I was a fan of the Dominion variant becoming the babies because that's what they were in the first place. Maybe because part of me expected the male to be more in line with the movie one, feathered and all. But when we got the Dimorphodon reveal, all of that went down the drain. I honestly really like the movie design even if it doesn't really resemble the animal, and I understand why Frontier made it less monstrous for the game, but I do hope we get a proper movie Dimorphodon one day. Number 49 is the Indominus Rex, the highest ranking hybrid on my list and even higher than its parents, sorry. I really like its design, and the only things that would make it better would be the return of the rainforest skin and the addition of babies, but I can honestly live without them. I just recently looked at the other Jurassic World Evolution 1 skins, and the pattern they had was just so much better than the one in the sequels. I know the model changed for the better, but I don't understand why they had to change the pattern for the worse. I also find it pretty crazy that there's not a single pure black skin, as they were so popular in Jurassic World Evolution 1. Either way, I love adding this species to the restricted areas of my parks and letting them break loose just like in the movie. Number 48 is the Nodosaurus. I've seen a lot of people saying that they're not big fans of this dinosaur, but personally I love it. It's just so adorable and tiny, and I actually really like the patterns. Can't really think of anything else to say other than that I really like the Nodosaurus. At number 47, I have the Brachiosaurus, specifically the Jurassic Park 3 variant. The patterns on this variant are amazing. I love using it on zombie exhibits, and I think it fits really well with the Tyrannosaurus. Can't wait for it to get added back. I also don't mind the absence of sexual dimorphism or babies for the variants, but I also wouldn't be opposed to getting them in a free update. Sitting at number 46 is the Diplodocus. I think the best part about this dinosaur are the babies. They're just so adorable. The skins are okay, but I just love the species in real life, and since the Apatosaurus is a lot more elephant-like, I always opt for the Diplodocus instead. Number 45 is the Pteranodon. Unpopular opinion, but I actually really like the Jurassic World design, and I love that they gave the male a larger crest. The babies aren't great though because they have teeth. I understand it's because the Jurassic Park 3 babies have teeth, but it makes no sense for the babies to lose teeth as they grow into the Jurassic World variant. It's species like these that make me really want a free update that focuses on adding variant-specific babies. I like using the Jurassic Park 3 variant as a Lotodactylus, and it does have some pretty good skins too. I do miss the original Pilophylax pattern from the second game, because it resembles the second variant of Pteranodon from Jurassic World a lot better than the one we currently have in game does. Next up is the Pachycephalosaurus at number 44. I think the babies are super cute, and I quite like the patterns on both sexes. Can't say much else about it. Iconic dinosaur, great for arena exhibits. At number 43 is the Styracosaurus. Like the previous species, I think both sexes have great patterns, especially on the frill. The babies, however, look really odd to me. Overall, I really like this species both in real life and in the game, and if it weren't for another ceratopsid being added to the game, this would have been much higher on my ranking, being my favorite ceratopsid overall. The Amargasaurus comes in at number 42. It's such a unique sauropod and currently the only small sauropod we have in the game. The babies are very cute, and the sexual dimorphism is quite good in my opinion. Just a great species all around. Number 41 is the Ichthyosaurus. The skins are my favorites, but the babies are adorable. It's also the only tiny lagoon species in the game alongside the Plesiosaurus, and I use it in almost all of my parks. Still hoping for a medium-sized ichthyosaur in the DLC down the line though. At number 40, I have the Hypsilophodon. Its addition in the wetlands pack was odd to say the least, but I actually really like this species. I'm a sucker for small herbivores, so the Hypsilophodon was a nice addition to the roster. I love using it instead of Dryosaurus whenever I want a smaller ornithopod in my exhibits. The skins are also quite nice, and I love that it has a more Jurassic Park aesthetic rather than the more paleo-accurate designs we've gotten recently. Now I know I said I wouldn't have any more controversial opinions, but the next species is the Therizinosaurus at number 39. Don't get me wrong, I love the Therizinosaurus, but the skins and patterns are very mediocre, so I don't use them much, usually opting for Deinocheirus instead. While the movie design is good, I'm hoping we get a more paleo-accurate Therizinosaur in the future with better skins and patterns. Number 38 is the Dunkleosteus. Great species, adorable salmon-like babies, but pretty mediocre skins. It's still quite a unique species, being the only bony fish in the game, but that alone doesn't warrant a higher spot on my ranking. Next is the Guanlong at number 37. Really great design and skins, but I feel like we didn't need another small theropod with a crest on its snout. The babies are very cute though. At this point in the video, we're getting to my all-time favorite species to use in my parks, and we're gonna start off with the Austroraptor at number 36. Being one of the most requested species by the community, vote for yours in my pinned comment, I was really excited to see it get added in the Wetlands pack. The skins are great, both for males and females, and the babies are also super adorable. Creating exhibits for this species is always super fun as I love wetland style habitats. Speaking of wetlands, number 35 is the Spinosaurus. Back in Jurassic World Evolution 1, I used them in almost all of my parks, but over time, I stopped using them as much due to my preference of the real animal over the outdated Jurassic Park 3 one. But with the rebirth Spinosaurus being added to the game, I see myself using the species a lot more, including on the paleo-accurate park I'm currently building. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. The babies are very cute, and the skins are also pretty good for both variants. However, I do wish that there was a little bit more sexual dimorphism in terms of the pattern. 34 is the Stegosaurus. I never cared much for this species in the first game, but when we got the Lost World skin as a variant in Jurassic World Evolution 2, I started using it a lot more. The pattern on that variant is amazing. The baby also fits both variants, which is a plus even if I barely use the Jurassic World one. Just an all-around amazing dinosaur design. Number 33 is the Eutyrannus. Really great species, use them quite often in my parks. The babies are adorable and the skins are simple yet great. Although I do wish that they kept the color on the females' lacrimal crests. The feathers on the heads of the adults look weird though, and I don't know if it's a console issue or not, but it also applies to the next species. Overall, it's one of my favorite medium carnivores in the game. Number 32 is the Deinocheirus. I almost always have this species in my parks, but the patterns aren't the best, and the face looks odd to me, but I can't quite point out why. I love the babies though, and the shape of the species overall, hence why it ranks a little higher than the Therizinosaurus. The feathers on this species also look off though, and it does bother me a little. But it's a very unique species, and I think this game definitely needs more of that, especially after the roster cuts from the second game to the third. Next up is the Dreadnoughtus at number 31. Back in Jurassic World Evolution 2, this used to be my favorite sauropod, specifically the Dominion variant, although I do also really like the Frontier one. But with the addition of 2 new Titanosaurs in Jurassic World Evolution 3, Dreadnoughtus dropped by quite a bit on my ranking. The babies are very cute, they remind me of grass snakes. But the skins aren't the best, so I usually just go for the movie skin. Number 30 is the Utahraptor. I think everyone's jaw dropped when this species was revealed for the Cretaceous Predator pack for Jurassic World Evolution 2. The skins are great, and the babies are adorable. The sexual dimorphism is very interesting. I think it's the only species whose model actually changes to be beefier, and I would love if they did that for other future species too. At number 29, I have the Irritator. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of its design due to the little spikes it has on the sides of its crest, but the design has grown on me a lot. The skins are absolutely perfect, and any new Spinosaurus is always a welcome addition in my opinion. Definitely one of the best DLC species we've ever gotten in any of the 3 games. Coming in at number 28 is the Patagotitan. Absolutely perfect design, great babies, and great sexual dimorphism. I would have ranked it much higher if I had done this video prior to the Rebirth expansion. Not much else I can say about this species other than praise it. Number 27 is the Giganotosaurus. I'm specifically talking about the Frontier variant, but I also do like to use the movie one with Frontier skins from time to time. I'm not the biggest fan of the movie design, but I do find the babies really adorable. It's my go-to large carnivore, and I think the skins are simple but quite good. I do really hope we get variant specific babies in the future though, because the current baby doesn't really fit the Frontier Giganotosaurus much. I love retro Giganotosaurus designs, so this species just hits that nostalgic spot for me. Next at number 26 is the brand new Aqualops. I was already a fan of the Microceratus, and with the Aqualops being so similar to it, it was bound to rank very high. The skins are great, and I'm really glad Frontier stuck to a pattern similar to the movie one. The baby's also really cute, and the meerkat-like stances and quadrupedal locomotion also help to distinguish it from the Microceratus and adds to this species' character. Very cute species that I definitely see myself using very often in the future. The Iguanodon takes the 25th spot. I love the Frontier variant, but I also really like the Dominion one, especially the movie skin. The skins on the Frontier variant are great, but I can't really say the same about the Dominion one. It just looks like such a powerful animal, I love it. Other than variant specific babies, the only thing that would make it better is if it got its feeding animation back from Jurassic World Evolution 1, where it would grab vegetation with its front legs. At number 24 is the Maiasaura. I always loved the Maiasaura in the previous games as I just love Crestos Hadrosaurs, and the Maiasaurus model was quite accurate, had a quadrupedal posture, and the skins were great. So it was just a perfect species to me. Never really understood the hate, and I'm super happy that it's finally getting the love it deserves in Jurassic World Evolution 3 thanks to the male looking amazing, both model and skins. Number 23 is the Dimetrodon. I was so happy it was included in Jurassic World Dominion because it meant it would get added to Jurassic World Evolution 2. Its skins are incredible, and the babies are absolutely adorable. Being one of 2 synapsids in the game, the Dimetrodon is already unique, but their ability to swim makes them even more unique. Then at number 22, I have the Microceratus. With the addition of another small ceratopsian, the Microceratus dropped a little on my ranking. I love using this species in mixed exhibits and walkthrough exhibits, or just letting them roam freely around my park like they did in the novel. The skins are pretty decent, and the babies are very cute. Next up is the Mosasaurus at number 21. This species used to be a lot lower on my ranking, but with the addition of the rebirth variant, I can see myself using this species a lot more. I love Mosasaurus but never really liked using the Mosasaurus in my parks because of the crocodilian look the Jurassic World Mosasaurus has. The rebirth Mosasaurus is the complete opposite. The tail fluke, smoother back, and counter shading are amazing. The skins are pretty mediocre for both variants, but the deluxe one has pretty nice ones. The babies are quite cute too, and maybe the Mosasaurus only ranks this high because the rebirth variant is brand new, but only time will tell. At number 20, I have the Lystrosaurus. Being the second of 2 synapsids in the game, the uniqueness points are enough to lift it very high on my ranking, but the design being absolutely adorable is a cherry on top. The babies are kind of terrifying though. The skins aren't that great, but I honestly don't mind it. I love creating meerkat-like enclosures for them, knowing that they were burrowing animals in real life. I put them in basically all of my parks, and I really hope we get more synapsids in the future, and I'll be posting my picks for a Permian DLC in the coming weeks, so subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Number 19 is the Homalocephale. The original cute Jurassic World Evolution dinosaur, or also known as carnivore fodder, the Homalocephale is just an adorable species that I love putting in my parks. The patterns are great, although I do miss the other Jurassic World Evolution 1 pattern. And for the millionth time, the babies are very cute, and I love when babies get different patterns from the adults. I think at this point you can really tell that I love small herbivores, because the Psittacosaurus takes the 18th spot. This is such a unique species and such a heavily requested species, I was super excited when it was finally revealed for Jurassic World Evolution 3. The babies are very cute, and the sexual dimorphism is great. I've used this species in all my Jurassic World Evolution 3 parks so far, and I'm certain they'll be present in every other park in the future too. The skins are pretty great, and as a sucker for small herbivores, the Psittacosaurus is bound to place very high on my ranking. Number 17 is the Lokiceratops. Another new Jurassic World Evolution 3 base game species, this is probably the most accurate species in the game. I love the goat eyes, proper ceratopsid feet, and the incredible sexual dimorphism. The skins are also amazing, and the babies are adorable. This species was very clearly one of the developers' favorites because everything about it is just so perfect. I do really love this species and I almost placed it higher, but for now it sits at number 17. At number 16 is the Oviraptor. I always loved using this species kind of like a peacock in Jurassic World Evolution 2, placing them in small exhibits near guest areas. And with the addition of sexual dimorphism and babies in Jurassic World Evolution 3, I love it and use it even more. The smaller crest on the female is great, and the babies are super cute. My only complaint is that the Dominion skin uses the female model with a smaller crest rather than the male one which was seen in the movie. Hopefully that gets fixed alongside the Dominion Dilophosaurus in the future. Number 15 is the Herrerasaurus. Always been one of my favorites since the first game. The females look amazing and the males look quite good too with the new quills. The babies look like little mischievous gremlins and I love it. I usually use this species kind of like the Velociraptors in the first movie, a more secretive, dangerous species that shouldn't be played around with. The skins are also really good and that's pretty much all I have to say, just a great species all around. At number 14 is the Parasaurolophus. Now this species is one of my favorites in real life, and has always been one of my favorites in the Jurassic World Evolution games. If it weren't for the new species added in Jurassic World Evolution 3, the Parasaurolophus would have been on my top 10. The skins are quite good, especially the 3 Dominion skins which I really hope get turned into a variant in the future, and if that ever happens, I can definitely see the species rank a little higher. I also really like the Lost World and Lux skins, and the babies are cute-ish, but the sexual dimorphism isn't my favorite. I see what Frontier was trying to do by reversing what they usually did to the other species dimorphism, and in a way I appreciate that we didn't get a giant crest for the males like the Triceratops. A good compromise in my opinion would have been keeping the same model and using different patterns or giving the males a slightly longer crest. The females need to keep their original model because those are the ones we see in the movies and I don't want another Nasutoceratops / Sinoceratops scenario. Overall, really great species, almost always present in my parks. Number 13 is the Dryosaurus. Super unique species, really great patterns, and cute babies. The Dryosaurus is just another amazing dinosaur in the game that's always present in my parks, usually sporting a green or brown coloration. The sounds of the species are also absolutely adorable, and if it weren't for the new Jurassic World Evolution 3 species, the Dryosaurus would rank a little bit higher just like the Parasaurolophus. Getting closer to the top 10 is the Kronosaurus at number 12, my highest ranking marine species. This species just has an amazing design, great model, great skins and patterns, adorable plump babies, and it uses a shark feeder too, which is great, and it's almost always present in my parks as a staple large marine species. At number 11 is the Titanosaurus. This might not be as controversial as I thought, considering it was voted the favorite large sauropod in a poll I ran a couple of days ago. The Titanosaurus just has an incredible design. The movie skins are my favorites, but I also quite like the Frontier skins too. It's just such an elegant species, and the social animation is probably one of the best in the entire game. I see myself using this species all the time, and I can't wait to build parks with it. Now we finally get to the top 10 of my ranking, and starting us off is the Moros at number 10. While I do love small herbivores, I also love small feathered carnivores. One actually used to take the number 1 spot on my ranking back in Jurassic World Evolution 2. The Moros is just great. It reminds me a lot of rats, which I also find cute, and the skins are pretty good. The baby is adorable, and I like using them in small exhibits or in mixed exhibits with large herbivores, making them act like the cleanup crew similar to the Procompsognathus in the novels. Number 9 is the first of 3 pterosaur species on my top 10, and it is the Kaiowajara. Really odd pick for a new species, but a great one nonetheless. The Kaiowajara probably has the best patterns and skins of any pterosaur in the game, and the babies look absolutely adorable. I love Brazilian pterosaurs, so this species was already great, but the fact that it also has some of the best sexual dimorphism in the entire game makes it even better. The only thing that could make it better is if it had a herbivorous diet like in real life. I'm sorry, but I lied. The Atomburosaurus is actually my favorite marine species, coming in at number 8. The Atomburosaurus is just gorgeous, great skins but mediocre patterns, and stupidly adorable babies. Probably my favorite babies in the entire game. Not much else I can say about this species other than that I really love it. At number 7 is the Concavenator. Now this species used to be on my top 5 back in Jurassic World Evolution 2, but the changes made to its model and the addition of new species bumped it down to number 7. I don't think the babies are that great, and I don't really like the changed skull on the males, or the decrease in size of the female squills, but the skins are still amazing, and I'm starting to get used to the more naked females, which are the only reason the species ranks this high anyway. It's a really unique species and a must-have in most of my parks, and I think it fits really well next to resorts or hotels, which is where it's at my Paleo Acro Park, coming soon to my channel. So subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Just before the top 5, I have the Quetzalcoatlus at number 6. My highest ranking movie species, I already loved the Dominion Quetzalcoatlus, but the Rebirth variant gave it extra points. I actually really love the Rebirth Quetzalcoatlus, even if it's not the most accurate thing in the world. The movie skin is gorgeous, and the quills on its bald head are just such a unique design choice that I can't help but love it. I still prefer the Dominion variant as it has much better skins, and the babies are absolutely adorable and fit them way better. I use the Quetzalcoatlus in basically all of my parks, but I do hope the Rebirth variant gets sized down like in the movie, and like previous species with variants, I do hope we get variant specific babies down the line in a free update. Starting off the top 5 is the Edmontosaurus galloping in at number 5. Being one of my favorite species since the first game, the Edmontosaurus has some of the best skins in the game, but that only really applies to the male as the female's pattern is basically limited to the stripes on its tail, and I think that's a really boring choice. Its sexual dimorphism was also a huge missed opportunity, as the females could have been the combless Edmontosaurus featured on the Jurassic World website, which is what the Jurassic World Evolution Edmontosaurus is actually based on, and the males could have just been kept as the model from Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2. Sadly, the females in-game have a tiny comb, and the females have a slightly larger comb than what they previously had. I hated this change at first, but now I've kind of gotten used to it, so it doesn't really bother me as much. But a change based on what I just mentioned would probably move it to the top 3 just like it used to be back in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Overall, I still really love this species and use it quite often, basically in all of my parks. And like most hadrosaur babies, the Edmontosaurus babies aren't my favorites, but they are quite cute. And as a quadrupedal hadrosaur with great skins, it still manages to crack into my top 5. At number 4 is the Protoceratops. I was so excited when the species got revealed for the deluxe edition of Jurassic World Evolution 3, as it was one of my most requested species. Vote for yours in my pinned comment, and it did not disappoint. The design is amazing with great skins, adorable babies, and subtle but perfect sexual dimorphism. It's definitely going to be one of my most used species in Jurassic World Evolution 3 for sure. Number 3 is the Ornithomimus, a huge difference in ranking compared to the other 3 ornithomimids. When this species was revealed, the other 3 ornithomimids shed a tear because they knew they would only be used once in a blue moon. Jokes aside, the Ornithomimus has great skins and adorable babies. It was another one of my most requested species as I love Ornithomimids but never really liked the look of the featherless ones in the game. These giant Mesozoic ostriches have already been in all of my parks and are very likely going to be in all my future parks too. They have such an amazing design, and this is my highest ranking new species for Jurassic World Evolution 3. At number 2 sits the croc mimic herself, Suchomimus. Yes, it's still Suchomimus, not Chrysatosaurus. Don't play with me. The Suchomimus used to have some of the best skins in the game, but like the Metriacanthosaurus, the female's pattern, which is the original Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2 pattern, got faded and is barely noticeable on the dinosaurs. The male's pattern also isn't that great, so sadly the Suchomimus doesn't have the best skins right now, but it still has an amazing model, and quite a cute baby design. I can't wait for the Chaos Theory variant because I know that one will for sure have gorgeous skins, especially the on-screen ones. Like the Edmontosaurus, the changes made to it in the third game weren't enough to move it down my ranking by very much, as it still sits in second place. It also has some of the best sound design in the entire game. And finally, at the number 1 spot is the Thanatos Dracon. Might be an unpopular opinion, I don't know, but the Thanatos Dracon just has an amazing design. Great skins, subtle but decent sexual dimorphism, and pretty cute babies. I love giving them skins based on storks, like the one I just picked, and I think they fit well in pretty much any aviary in any park. And the new walking animations just make it so much better. It was a strange addition to the Park Managers pack back in Jurassic World Evolution 2, but I'm so glad that it came to the game because I think it has probably the best pterosaur design in the entire game. And that was my ranking of all 105 species in Jurassic World Evolution 3. I can definitely see it changing in the future, especially after all the missing Jurassic World Evolution 2 species get added back. Did you agree with my ranking? Disagree with it? Have any controversial opinions yourself? Comment down below your thoughts and subscribe and turn on notifications because I have so many other Jurassic World Evolution 3 videos planned. And finally, thank you for watching.